Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's painting is something a little different from the usual pieces. I've actually painted something similar for my sketchbook piece a while ago, and I thought I'll do another one on a larger canvas with a little tweaks here and there. I haven't done any detailed brushwork in a while, so this piece took a lot longer than expected. I start by painting the canvas in red as part of the backdrop is painted in white. Having a red base will help to bring out the color instead of painting on a white surface. I then use a chalk to get a rough sketch of where I want the branches to be. Then I map out the colors with a paintbrush. It looks very rough right now, but it's all about the process, tackling it layer by layer. I find it less intimidating and also leaves a lot of room for adjustments midway. I wanted a more minimalist theme for this painting, hence it isn't as colorful as my usual pieces. For the backdrop, I'm using pale grey, titanium white, ultramarine blue and cobalt blue. For the branches, Payne's grey and Prussian blue. As you can see now, I'm working on the reflections of the trees. Draw a few branches and add the foliage. I wanted it to kind of frame the canvas, so I'll be drawing this around the edges. You don't have to be detailed with this. I tried to give it a little bit more of an abstract feel to the foliage, so I'm just trying to draw jagged shapes as I go with a few odd branches here and there. Once I'm done with the foliage, fill in the spaces in between for the backdrop. I'm using pale grey for this section, and pale grey with cobalt blue for the bottom section, ultramarine blue for the top, and titanium white for the middle. For the top part, I wanted to create a more watery look to it, but we'll go into detail later. For now, I'm just trying to map out the whole canvas. I'm using ultramarine blue and titanium white for this, and a few more scattered branches with its leaves. This would probably be easier if I just painted the background first and the leaves on top. But by doing it this way, you can see the red layer peek out from between the leaves. It's not obvious from afar, but up close it'll look like subtle highlights. Now that all the drawing is done, I'm just going to fill up this blank space in the middle here with titanium white. Here I'm just adding a bit of modification before starting the second layer. This is one of the advantages of going layer by layer. It's more flexible. After getting a rough idea of how the artwork would look, it gives me room to add or remove stuff from the painting. Now that I'm satisfied, I go in for the second layer, painting properly this time. I'm using a size 00 brush for the whole painting, hence it takes a much longer time to complete. However, I find that using a fine liner brush to paint your artworks gives it a more refined and polished look with the brush strokes, and you're able to get in between the nooks and crannies of each detail. So this is the tedious part that I was talking about, filling up the space in between the foliage, but you can start to see a little bit of red highlights peeking from underneath. I paint over the branches and leaves as well, making sure that the paint is even and tidy. This part needs a bit of blending where two separate colors meet. This is technically a reflection of the sky, which means the white parts are clouds. I mix both colors, cobalt blue and titanium white, and blend them in between the two separate colors for a smooth transition. Now I'm slowly making my way to the other sections. The white is not exactly opaque, so I had to apply a more generous amount of paint and a couple of layers to make it even. For this part, I wanted a watery look to it. By that, I'm doing small strokes with the paintbrush and adding a bit of titanium white, giving it a little bit of texture instead of a solid plain background. I also add a bit of Prussian blue for the darker shade to create depth. Drinking a Slurpee. Some blending work here and it's about to be finished. You were so thirsty, thirsty. You whispered your love when you feel it. Now to create the whole water effect, I want to add a little bit of ripples. By distorting the image, this will look like the reflection of water. I first start by drawing the ripples with titanium white, and then I go in with the brush to drag the branches and leaves out in the shape of the ripple. Add more ripples where it's easy to see the distorted image, which is where the foliage are. Here I'm drawing a few dots of titanium white and more ripples. Drinking a Slurpee in a peach baseball cap, falling in my lap. You were so thirsty, thirsty. Now for the finishing touch, I wanted to add a couple of fishes. I'm using Prussian blue and pale grey for them. When people ask me what do my paintings represent, it's hard because I'm kind of all over the place. I paint as I go or whatever I feel like painting at that moment. But a common theme would be nostalgia. I love things with a nostalgic element to it, and probably a touch of romanticism. I think paper boats gives that kind of feeling, the warmth of a childhood memory or simplicity. I couldn't resist adding a pop of red, and I think it gives this whole painting a slight hint of fantasy. Anyway, I hope you like this painting and that you'll find this tutorial useful. This painting is listed on Etsy, link is in the description, and I'll see you again in the next video. Goodbye! Noticed that you looked me back. We were sitting down in the restaurant, waiting for the check. We had made love